Lando Norris. Quick.
Just sailing on by.
Determined.
Norris all the way around the outside of 4.
Loyal. And now, a world champion.
Lando has landed.
Going to the inside. Is it going to be another classic move?
Brilliant move from Lando Norris.
Lando Norris has done it again.
Yeah, baby!
And after 24 rounds, Lando Norris is the Formula One world champion.
Lando, how's it going for you so far this weekend?
It's been good. I've had my heats. I've had a first and second, which puts me on pole for the final. My main competition is probably going to be Jamie Caroline and Dan Ticktum. So I reckon if we can try and beat them throughout the season, it'll be good and we can win the championship.
Norris has been building to this moment since he was 8 years old, when he first started karting. He was fast from the get-go, taking pole position at his very first national race. He soon began collecting wins and titles, culminating in the CIK FIA World Championship in 2014. At just 14 years old, he was the series' youngest ever winner. By then, he was already racing cars too, dovetailing his karting with a season in Ginetta Juniors in 2014, where he finished third in the championship after taking 4 wins. For 2015, he switched to MSA Formula, the series that would become known as British Formula 4, and roared to the title with 8 victories. The following year, he won 3 championship titles in the Junior Formula, including the New Zealand-based Toyota Racing Series and Formula Renault Euro Cup, and still found time to race to 4 wins in the British Formula 3 Championship too. But even this trophy-laden season was simply a prelude of 2017, the most pivotal year of his junior racing career, and one which was defined by 2 key developments. First, he was signed up to McLaren's Young Driver programme, the same system that saw Lewis Hamilton work his way through the junior categories and then into F1 and all the way to the World Championship title.
Lewis Hamilton is the world champion.
And second, he proved he had the talent to justify McLaren's faith when he won the European Formula 3 Championship with 9 victories and finished second in the prestigious Macau Grand Prix. A step up to Formula 2 beckoned, and once again, young Lando proved he was immediately on the pace by taking pole position and victory in the very first feature race of the year in Bahrain. That would prove to be his only victory of the season, but his consistency and wheel-to-wheel ability put him in the title fight, alongside close friends and rivals George Russell and Alex Albon. Meanwhile, he continued his development with McLaren, who named him as their official reserve driver for the year and ran him in 7 F1 practice sessions over the course of the season.
It means a lot. I think it's a good opportunity for me to develop more as a driver, especially with McLaren. I think it's definitely my favourite team to kind of join, and hopefully it'll lead to more opportunities in the future.
In the end, it was Russell who came out on top in the Formula 2 title battle, and while that might have stung a little, Norris had already secured the prize he craved most, a Formula 1 drive for the following year with McLaren, who had decided to run an all-new driver lineup for 2019. Now, Norris was in the big time at just 19 years old, and with one of F1's blue-chip teams, even if McLaren weren't quite the force they'd been in the glory days of old. But Lando and his new teammate Carlos Sainz gelled immediately, forming one of the sport's most popular double acts as they worked together to get McLaren back on the right path. Lando's close bond and raw speed helped the team return to the podium for the first time in over 5 years, with Sainz doing so with P3 at the penultimate race of 2019. But Norris's rookie season was as memorable for his on-track performances as it was for his meme-worthy moments.
I'm moving up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster.
And along with fellow rookies Albon and Russell, he ushered in a new era as Formula 1 embraced a generation of drivers who weren't just quick, but who relished sharing their journey online with their fans.
Where are your 1 million Instagram fans?
1.1.
Lando's second season was delayed by the COVID pandemic, but he kept his fans entertained with plenty of online streaming, and once the real racing did resume, he was immediately on the pace. He started the new season with a bang and the taste of champagne, as he claimed his maiden F1 podium finish in the season opener in Austria. His P3 result was a lesson in perseverance, extreme concentration, speed and determination, as he closed down Lewis Hamilton, who had a 5-second penalty to serve, with a blistering final 2 laps of the race.
I think that's a podium, mate. I think that's a podium.
Yeah, boy! Yes! Well, I don't know. I don't want to celebrate too much here, but...
And last lap Lando was at it again the following week at the very same track, the young Brit claiming an astonishing 3 places in the final stages of the Styrian Grand Prix.
Lando Norris on the last lap. He got the fastest lap last week. He's got a place ahead of Lance Stroll this week, and he's up into 6th place. Norris might yet take 5th, you know, as he goes wide, Perez. Norris is past the racing point. He's done 2 in the same lap.
He wouldn't visit the podium again that season, but his pace and point-scoring consistency further burnished his reputation as one of the quickest and most capable drivers in the field, and helped McLaren up to P3 in the championship, their highest finish in 8 years.
Norris crosses the line to finish 5th, and on the day that they announced new investment into the team, McLaren have bagged even more millions by clinching that 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship.
In 2021, the Car-Lando partnership came to an end, with Sainz's move to Ferrari. And Norris welcomed a new teammate, Daniel Ricciardo. The Australian was vastly more experienced, but it was Norris who was quicker, scoring 4 podiums on his way to P6 in the championship, including 3rd places at Imola, Monaco, and his happy hunting ground, the Red Bull Ring.
And who likes a podium here in Austria? Lando Norris started on the front row, picks up another podium.
At Monza, Ricciardo bucked the form book by taking McLaren's first win in almost a decade, with Norris following him home to make it a memorable 1-2.
It's McLaren and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix. Lando Norris comes home to make it a 1-2. Lando Norris coming home in 2nd for his best ever finish in Formula 1.
In the next race, after securing a maiden pole, Norris had his first win in his sights, before spinning out in the final laps.
And it's now just 4 seconds between Norris and Hamilton. And Hamilton takes the lead of the race as Lando Norris slides off the track.
A heartbroken Lando eventually finished 7th.
I could have won the race and I didn't, so I'm never going to be happy like this.
He would not best that result for the rest of the year, but performances like the one he delivered in Sochi had marked him out as one to watch. Norris was ready to win, but McLaren, it seemed, didn't have the car to match his talent. Speculation was rife that the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes were keen to poach him away from Woking. But Norris was resolute in his loyalty to the team that had given him his F1 debut, and raised eyebrows in the paddock when he signed a new long-term contract just before the 2022 season began.
You know, I want to win with McLaren, I want to win a championship with McLaren, and that's our goal, you know, it's not just mine, it's our goal. Norris
admitted he'd spoken to rival teams, but ultimately decided his future was with McLaren. But when the new season began, it looked like Lando's loyalty might have cost him the chance to realise those dreams. The 2022 season ushered in a new era in Formula 1, with all new ground effect cars, and McLaren hadn't got theirs quite right. As Red Bull emerged as the new dominant team in the sport, McLaren slipped back. Winner in waiting Lando was left to fight it out for the points in the midfield, with a 3rd place at Imola his and McLaren's sole podium finish of the year, as the Papaya team dropped to 5th in the Constructors. At the end of the year, there was a big change afoot at Woking. Team principal Andreas Seidel left for Sauber, with technical director James Key soon to follow, as Andreas Stella stepped up to take on the team boss role. And Lando also had a new teammate, with F3 and F2 champion Oscar Piastri replacing fellow Aussie Daniel Ricciardo. But despite these changes on the pit wall and in the cockpit, 2023 began much as 2022 had finished.
we're in the mid-pack, we're in a reasonable position, we're going to be racing, but I've much more detail than that I don't know at the minute, so it doesn't matter where you necessarily start, but it's how you progress from there.
New rookie teammate Piastri seemed to be right on the pace, but he and Norris began in Bahrain with a double no score before a bizarre incident in Saudi Arabia saw Piastri's broken front wing smash into Norris's.
I heard Oscar and Ocon came together and all of their debris hit my car and I ruined my race.
The score sheet told the story. 2 rounds, 0 points. Minor points finishes followed in Melbourne, Baku and Monaco, but results on track were not encouraging. But behind the scenes, McLaren were cooking up a massive upgrade package. And when it arrived, it changed everything. There was a taste of what was to come in Austria.
The pace of the car in race trim looks way more competitive.
Lando Norris coming home for his best result of the season. A great result on Sunday for Norris.
What about 25, 25? Oh, yes.
But it was at Silverstone where McLaren's season truly took off. With the upgraded car, Norris took a first home front row start.
And Lando Norris, what a performance from McLaren! Second and third!
And surged past Max Verstappen to take an early lead as the crowd roared their approval.
Norris, a very good start. Lando Norris leads. Piastri's trying to take second, but Max Verstappen around the outside. But it is Lando Norris who leads from Max Verstappen in second place.
In the end, Norris had to settle for second in the race, but he'd made his point. McLaren and Norris were here to stay. 6 more podiums followed before the end of the year as Lando stretched his legs and spread his wings with McLaren's much improved MCL 60. And as 2023 drew to a close, Norris had ticked off points, podiums, and pole positions. There was still no maiden win, but if McLaren could keep developing the car and build on their newfound speed, that was surely just a matter of time. And as the rumours swirled again about a switch to Red Bull or Mercedes, Norris once again showed his faith in McLaren by signing another long-term contract. In 2024, he underlined the team's potential by bagging a third place in Melbourne.
Okay, that's P3.
Whoop whoop.
Gaining a perhaps unwanted record in the process. With his 14th top 3 finish, Norris was now the driver with the most podiums without a win in F1 history. He further extended this record in China with P2. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen looked to be in unstoppable form, winning 4 of the first 5 Grand Prix of the year. Then came Miami. He qualified 5th for the Grand Prix itself and was running well until the safety car was sent out on lap 30. Lando saw his chance, pitted for new tyres, and emerged in the lead. From there, he executed a perfect restart to fend off Verstappen and kept his lead all the way to the flag to seal that all-important maiden victory.
15 times Lando Norris has stood on the podium, but never on the top step. Until now, it's a landmark day for Lando. Lando Norris wins for the first time in Formula One. The British driver's dream is realised. And at the 110th attempt, he's done it. He's won it.
You've done it, mate. You've done it.
Oh, about time. I love you all.
More poles and podiums followed as McLaren and Norris grew in confidence and speed. And after the summer break, he got win number 2. If his first victory owed at least a little something to the timing of the safety car, his second was all about his own speed and skill behind the wheel. He took pole position at Zandvoort ahead of Verstappen. And though the Red Bull driver beat him into turn 1 to take the lead, Norris was not to be denied and took the place back, before running away at the front to win by more than 22 seconds.
Today, at the house that Max rebuilt, the winner's orange once again. For the second time in Formula One, Lando Norris wins.
It was a champion's drive, very well deserved.
It was a dominant performance from the man who was nibbling away at Verstappen's championship lead and was beginning to be talked about as a title contender himself. Norris was now older, wiser, and at times absolutely ruthless. Ultimately, the title proved to be a bridge too far given the early lead Verstappen had built up, but Norris still delivered 2 more wins, first in Singapore and then in Abu Dhabi, to end the season with an unmistakable statement of intent about 2025. Norris was coming for Verstappen's crown. And he began the new season in devastating style, keeping his composure in truly treacherous conditions in Melbourne to take the win. Pole and victory at the season opener, his title bid had begun in the best possible way.
Lando Norris wins the Australian Grand Prix.
His teammate Piastri then made the running with 4 victories in the next 5 rounds to claim the championship lead. But Norris would hit back at Formula One's most prestigious event.
Welcome to a venue all in motorsport aspire to reach.
Another pole gave him the best seat in the house at Monaco, but he still had to work hard to keep Charles Leclerc at bay behind him, as the Monegasque harried and hustled and tried to add another home win to his own CV. But Norris didn't buckle under the pressure and went on to join the likes of Lewis Hamilton and Ayrton Senna as McLaren Monaco winners. In Austria, he had to bring all his determination, speed and wheel-to-wheel skill to fend off a challenge from Piastri.
The 2 McLarens are side by side again. Piastri started in 3rd, takes the lead on lap 11, and they were millimetres away from contact. They're still side by side. It's for the lead of the Grand Prix, and they still can't resolve it. Lando hangs on. Lando Norris wins the Austrian Grand Prix in a massive result for the World Championship. He kept his teammates at bay.
This was the title battle distilled into a single race, and Norris would not be denied. And he followed that up with an emotional home win at the British Grand Prix on a wet and wild day at Silverstone.
In 2025, it's Norris's name on the trophy. Lando Norris wins the British Grand Prix.
After taking pole at Spa, he was beaten to the win by Piastri, but hit back again in Hungary to claim his 5th Grand Prix victory of the season and close the gap to his teammate to just 9 points. From there, he continued to chip away at the deficit, gaining and gaining until he grabbed the championship lead and never let it go.
What a weekend this has been for Lando Norris, who comes across the line and wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. Lando Norris in position to retake the championship lead.
Of course, it hadn't all been perfect, and the battle with Piastri has had its flashpoints.
No, he's ripped off the front wing! The McLarens collide! Piastri's going to be hit by Hulkenberg, and the McLarens make contact as well!
I wasn't very team-like, but sure.
And enter Max Verstappen. A resurgent second half of the season saw the 4-time world champion win in Monza, Baku, Austin, Las Vegas and Qatar, completely shaking up the points. But despite a charge from the defending champion and weathering a disqualification in Las Vegas, Lando's laser-sharp focus for the title never faltered. Every lap carved with intent, every moment a testament to his transformation. After 24 frantic Grand Prix weekends, a host of intense battles on track, wins and losses, triumphs and disasters, pit stops and podiums, Lando Norris is the last man standing, our champion of the world in 2025.